So today I want to share something with you that's really, really important and very interesting, how I believe that microdosing psilocybin, magic mushrooms, can actually cure autoimmune diseases. Now, what I have to say to you is my story. I'm going to share this with you totally. It's not medical advice, even though I am a doctor. I'm a retired dentist. My name is Dr. David Maddow, and I'm sharing my story. I'm not really sharing medical advice, but you can take anything from this that you like, and I invite you to determine if this is something for you. Now, I want to go back in time because for at least 30 plus years, I suffered from an autoimmune disease called psoriasis. Now, you might not think it's too bad. Oh, it's just some scales on your skin. It's not really that bad, but psoriasis can be debilitating. Not only can it be red, itchy, flaky, bleeding, all kinds of craziness all over your body. But if something's going on your skin, then it's not just a surface thing. What's going on in your skin is a reflection of the inflammation or whatever is taking place underneath, inside your body. So please keep that in mind. If you have any kind of skin disorders, it's not just the skin, but it's something going on deep underneath, and it needs to be addressed. It can't just be ignored. Please don't do that. But I'm going to go ahead and share my story with psoriasis because, as I think I said already, for over 30 years, I was dealing with it. And it was not only uncomfortable, itchy, scratchy, bleeding, but very embarrassing. I spent a lot of time on stage in front of large audiences. And before I went on stage, I always had to figure out how to cover up, how to put makeup, or how to take care of my psoriasis so it wouldn't be shown to the audience on the big screen. And it was just a disaster. And also in real life, it was just something that I had to deal with every single day of my life. And I knew that something wasn't right. Yeah, it was an autoimmune disease. My dermatologist, my doctors all told me the same thing. There's no cure. There's nothing that can be done. Let's go ahead and treat it with this ointment. Let's go ahead and treat it with this vitamin D tablet. Let's go ahead and treat it with this or with that. But David, there's no way to ever get rid of it. It's going to be with you for the rest of your life. And for 30 years, I semi-believed that because I didn't know what else to do. And later on, they started coming out with very, very powerful drugs that I really did not want to be involved with because they potentially can do very great damage to your liver. And if they're damaging your liver, I'm wondering what else they can damage. I really did not want to get involved in that. I knew there had to be a better way, but I didn't really know what that better way was. Now, if you've been following me for some time, you know what I started doing a little over 5 years ago. If you're brand new to me, I'll share this with you right now. A little over 5 years ago, I started microdosing psilocybin, which some people know better as magic mushrooms. I started microdosing this for my mental health. I was going through some really tough anxiety, some depression, PTSD, and some things like that. And it was actually pretty bad. And I spent a lot of time in talk therapy. I spent a lot of my time using antidepressants, doing meditation, all the things they tell you to do. But nothing really helped me with my mental health issues until I started microdosing psilocybin, and almost from day one. Now, everybody's different. Sometimes it takes much longer, but for me, almost from day one, I started feeling like a totally different person. About 8 months later, I threw out the antidepressants and a lot of the other stuff. I never went to talk therapy again in my life because I didn't really need it, because psilocybin, magic mushrooms, were totally taking care of the way I felt every single day. But I had no idea there would be an added benefit to this. Absolutely no idea. I always heard that psilocybin, magic mushrooms, they're called teachers. They teach you about life. They teach you what to do in your life to make your life better, to make your health better, both physical and mental. And they taught me a few things over the course of 5 years that I wanted to share with you that I really do believe totally eradicated my psoriasis. That's right. After starting psilocybin about 5 years ago and fast forward to today, I'm here to say that I have got totally 100% clear skin, and it's been this way for at least a year, probably more than a year, probably a year or two. Totally clear. There's not one hint anywhere on my body of psoriasis. And again, like I said, for 30 plus years, This stumped my doctors, my medical doctors. They didn't know what to do other than give me special cream and special this and special that, and nothing worked until I learned about psilocybin and started using it on a regular basis as a microdose. Now, psilocybin alone is not responsible for curing psoriasis. No, it's not the psilocybin alone that does it. You can't just eat some mushrooms and your psoriasis is gone. Or if you have another autoimmune disease, which I'll talk about in a couple seconds. But it's more like they taught me, they guided me, they showed me what to do in my life. And in particular, I can't identify with 100% certainty, but in particular, I'm going to share 4 things with you that the magic mushrooms pointed me to do that I changed in my life, that I believe these things are responsible for totally eradicating my psoriasis and this autoimmune disease that plagued me. And I want to say one more thing about the psoriasis. It's not just a matter of having some patchy scales all over your skin. It's deeper than that. There's something called psoriatic arthritis. It starts affecting your joints, maybe even more serious than rheumatoid arthritis. It starts attacking, the inflammatory process starts attacking many different parts of your body, including joints, possibly some different organs, and it's a very serious thing. So again, psoriasis is not just, oh, I've got a little red spot on my skin. No, it's deep and it's very, very serious, and I'm glad that mine is totally gone. I'm going to share everything the mushrooms guided me to do to get rid of my psoriasis. Before we do, I want to share this with you for just one quick minute.
So I literally just had one of our Patreon members send an audio recording in to me. And I know I talk about Patreon a lot because it's just an incredible community that we have here at Microdose U. But better than me talking about it is what Holly just sent me via audio. I'm going to play it for you because I think you really need to hear this. So let me go ahead and I'll listen along right with you.
I just wanted to say that I love Microdose U. My name's Holly. I've been a member of Patreon now for 6, 7+ months, somewhere around there. And I've been microdosing myself for about 2.5, almost 3 years. And I really like Dr. Dave's style. And on a whim, I thought, you know what? It's only $12.50 a month. So why don't I just give this a whirl and see what it has in store? Really, I didn't have any expectations going into the Patreon group, but after being in the group for really a short period of time, it's really transformed everything for me. It's helped so much in my life and just making connections with others. We do have the live meetings and just getting to know others who may be in a similar boat, and a lot of us are. It has been very transforming. When I had joined, I think subconsciously, I was looking for some sort of community or at least a group of folks to chat about microdosing and psilocybin and life and all of that. And that was one of the other missing pieces in my life. I had mentioned to a few others, friends, maybe family about microdosing, but there was only a certain conversations we could have around that. And I really wasn't able to get into depth with friends and family about that. But with this group, it's another story, which is great. So we have a wonderful community, so much information, and even more than I had expected or even had hoped for. So I encourage you to look into it further. You never know what you don't know until you know, and just checking it out and seeing what it has to offer.
Holly, I want to thank you so much for your kind words. I'm truly humbled by what you said about our Patreon community there. And I'm going to recommend to anybody right now, listening or watching, now's your time. Now is truly the time to change your life. Don't wait another minute. The link is always in the show notes, and the link is always on my website, microdoseu.com. That's microdose with the letter U on the end of it, microdoseu.com, or right here in the show notes. Please join us because your life really will change. And that's not from me, that's from Holly.
Okay, I'm back now, and here we go. I've made some notes, and actually, I just thought of a fifth one, so I'll talk about the fifth one first, just so I don't forget it, because I got some notes here that I can read, but the fifth one, I don't want to forget. So one of the things, we'll call this number one, is I started taking an amazing amount of supplements. I did some research, and I figured out what I thought which supplements would be absolutely the best for me. And the list is way too long. Granted, I take a lot of supplements every single day, but I think they've really helped my life quite a bit. I'm 71 years old, and I got to tell you something. I feel healthier, stronger, better. I can do more physical activity than I could do when I was perhaps 51 or 61. I feel really, really good. And I think these supplements play a major, major role in my physical ability, mental ability, and also my skin for sure. What I've done, I've shared my list, and I've got a link I'll share in the show notes. You could just click on the link. You could see, and I update it as things change, and you could see exactly the supplements that I take. And I invite you to, depending on again, this is not medical advice, but I invite you to try these supplements. Every single one of them is safe. Check with your doctor if you'd like to be sure, because again, I'm not here to tell you what to do medically, but I'm sharing my story, what I've done. So again, the link to the supplements that I take, every single one of them is in the show notes. Secondly, I cut out gluten from my diet. Totally cut it out. These days, since my psoriasis went away, I want to admit I added a little bit. I'm not as strict as I used to be, but when I first started this, I cut out all gluten from my diet because gluten causes a lot of inflammation in a lot of people. So I wanted to be on the safe side, and I stopped eating any product with gluten in it. And I say reasonably strict. Maybe not as strict as somebody with celiac disease, but I was reasonably strict. I stuck to it for quite some time. That was the first thing I did. The second thing was I made sure, I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. I was always treated the wrong way. It never was working. But I made sure to get myself on a CPAP machine, and I made sure that I use it every single night. And I made sure to look at the data every night and make sure to be positive that it's working. And sleep apnea is a very, very serious medical condition. And basically what happens is you stop breathing multiple times in the middle of the night, multiple times per hour. And it wreaks havoc on your bodily functions, on your tissues, your organs, your heart, your lungs. It's very, very, very dangerous. And that absolutely could be one of the reasons that I had psoriasis that broke out, because of very poor sleep and very poor breathing during my sleep. And there's so many people that have this condition and they're undiagnosed. So again, that's something that if you feel it's possible, get a sleep study done. I'm telling you, it could be the difference between life and death, and definitely between good health and bad health for sure. Also, what I learned to do, and this is a bit of a learn type thing, it doesn't happen overnight, but I learned to breathe almost always through my nose. Even if I'm going for a walk, a run, a hike, it's very easy to start breathing through your mouth because you think it's almost like a big fountain and you get so much more air in, but it's really been proven that breathing through your nose is much, much healthier. It enables you to get much more nitric oxide, which is extremely healthy for your tissues and for your arteries and much more. So again, getting treated for sleep apnea and learning how to breathe through my nose were major. And I do believe that the magic mushrooms pointed me in that direction. The next thing I did was I added much more animal product and fat to my diet. Throughout my life, I was always told to limit the amount of fat. Meat's not good, it's dangerous, it's going to cause a heart attack, it's going to cause this and that. Let me tell you something. Through my studying and through my personal experience and through my lipid panels, my cholesterol panels, I have the readings of like a textbook. And I eat a lot of meat and a lot of fat. It's just simply not true that the more fat, the more meat you eat, you're gonna have higher cholesterol. It's not true. There are other reasons people develop higher cholesterol, but it's not because of dietary intake in most cases. And I feel that more fat equals fat is better for the skin, it's better for the brain tissue. We need fat, and too many of us stayed away from fat and meat for way too long. Also fish. Again, I had to throw fish in there. Fish is super, super important, but I eat a ton of it all. And I really do believe that played a tremendous part. And the last thing I'll share with you, I made an effort to drastically reduce my stress and my anxiety. I was doing things in my life that just weren't really working for me. And I had to admit to myself, these things aren't working. And it doesn't really matter what they were, because I don't have to go into that right now. But I identified the things that were causing stress and anxiety in my life, and I eliminated them. So my life these days is pretty much stress-free, anxiety-free, also thanks to the psilocybin, thanks to the magic mushrooms. But these 5 things that I just shared with you, again, the magic mushrooms taught me, the psilocybin guided me, they're teachers, they taught me how to do this. And because of that, my health has improved unbelievably, including no more psoriasis. If you're watching me on the video here, I'm just so proud, because I'm showing you my skin right now. And if I showed this to you a few years back, it would be red, it would be scaly, it would be embarrassing, it would be horrible. So again, psoriasis is an autoimmune disease. Now, thank my lucky stars, I don't have any other autoimmune diseases as far as I know, but you might be asking, I've got something else, I've got another type of autoimmune disease, whatever that might be. Can psilocybin help with that? Again, without giving you medical advice, I'm going to say very possibly yes. Psilocybin is showing some incredible results with many, many different types of medical issues. So again, do your research. Make sure you follow my channel here. I've been putting out a weekly episode for the past at least 4+ years, and my good friend and colleague, Dr. Denise Moret, now she's a doctor of psychology, she has an episode on the same channel once a week. And between the two of us, you get 2 episodes a week, and we're just trying to help as many people as possible live the best lives that they possibly can. And I'm going to include myself, the best lives that we possibly can, because I'm with you. I might be a little bit further along on the timeline, but I went through many of the things that you may be going through right now. And I will tell you, psilocybin has reversed and changed so many of them. I really hope that you can join us on Patreon, because that's where we get into much more detail. It's a great community, and we do share where to get the medicine, because many people say, well, where do you get this medicine? How can I get it? It's not legal where I live. Well, we've got all the answers to that. And I share everything with you. I should say we share everything with you on Patreon, because it's not just me, it's a community, and I will tell you, there's nothing else like it in the world, I promise you. Please remember this, if you don't remember anything else. You are very valuable. You matter a lot. You matter to me, and you matter to everyone here at Microdose U. I hope to see you soon. I'm Dr. Dave.